motherfucker! You have no fucking soul!
I should probably write more and do more work on this review than anyone spent on this movie script. Maybe do an analysis of this garbage fire. But what is there to really say? This movie sounded like a terrible idea when announced, looked terrible in the trailers, and yet despite all that, actually ended up worse than I expected. It's a complete creative dead zone. It represents all the worst elements of Sony as a movie studio, and also the worst elements of Hollywood in general. Remember Inside Out from a couple years ago? Did you ever imagine what it would be like if that movie replaced all its imagination with product placement? That's the Emoji Movie in a nutshell. Inside Out minus the soul. Our main character is Gene, T.J. Miller, the son of two meh emojis, Stephen Wright and Jennifer Coolidge, and he too is meant to be a meh, and if this movie were a meh, it'd be a massive improvement. He's not a very good meh, and ends up expressing pretty much every emotion except meh. Because of this, the smiley in charge decides he should be deleted. To escape, he runs off into other phone apps. Remember all those interesting locations the characters went through in Inside Out? Well here, each of those locations is nothing more than a product placement. Gene in High Five, James Corden, who gets caught up in the adventure, go to Let's Dance, Candy Crush, Spotify, YouTube, all in an attempt to get to the cloud, aka Dropbox. There's no point to these side quests other than to sell products. All Hollywood movies are guilty of product placement, or at least cross promotions, but Sony is by far the worst, or at very least the most blatant. All their movies have product placement like mad, usually in the form of Sony products, and that's what the Emoji Movie is, a Sony product, and nothing more. Honestly, with all the advertisers featured in this movie, it must have paid for itself. I would say the story is bland and predictable, but the truth is it's not. The story is borderline non-existent. I wouldn't say it's predictable because that would require an interest in the story's future events, when I had none. I literally could find nothing to praise about this movie. Even Patrick Stewart as the poop emoji never had a chance to shine. Hell, they might have had something if they at least had some good jokes, or at least a joke that had more than a second's thought behind it. Even when journeying to the separate apps, the film's lack of creativity shines through. The Emoji Movie was the worst movie I experienced this year, and an easy frontrunner for the worst movie of the year.
Hey, if you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. And if you really love this video, consider visiting my Patreon page.